Things are already heating up as the trial of the decade gets underway. If you watched my previous video, you are aware that a crucial witness in the Diddy trial vanished just before the trial started. While this could have been good news for Diddy, some very bad news has emerged. In an interview, Shore stated that he would be testifying against Diddy. He also said that he believes Diddy not only dumped Kim Porter but also attempted to do the same to him. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Truth, where I release new videos exposing the truth every week. Today's episode will be discussing Diddy's trial for some of the evil he has done in the music industry for the longest time. When he was free to do whatever he wanted and intimidate whoever he wanted. In the 2000s and 2010s. Diddy was the industry bully who went around coercing people into complying with his demands. One of the men who dealt with this was none other than I'll Be Sure, and Diddy's relationship dates back to the 1990s. When Shore was dating Kim Porter, they welcomed a child named Quincy together, but their relationship didn't last long. They broke up a year or two later. Few years later, I'll Be Sure, Kim split from Diddy, who later adopted Quincy as his own child. Kim and Diddy continued to date intermittently until 2007, when their relationship ended for unknown reasons. Even though Diddy publicly stated that his adultery was the reason they broke up, his bodyguard eventually admitted that he was violent against Kim, saying he would frequently beat her up.
How many times did you personally witness him be violent towards women?
Around 4 or 5 times.
And was that all with Cassie, or was it Cassie and other women?
I seen him with Cassie, and I seen him with Kim Porter, his kid's mother.
Right, who's now sadly no longer with us. But what did you see him do?
I seen him inside the car, grab her up. I seen him, you know. And one thing about Kim is Kim got to the point where she fought back because she realized how powerful he was. It was one incident on Sunset Boulevard in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel where I just seen the car rocking back and forth. You know, of course he put everybody out there, but I seen the car shaking, so I opened the door. I said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You see where we at and what are you doing?" And Kim got out the car like nothing happened, and she fixed her hair. She told him, she said, "I want to see you explain to the media that scratch I'm gonna put across your face if you put your hands on me again." And that was Kim's attitude. Kim's attitude was, she realized that what he had to explain meant more to him than anything. And once she realized she had that power, she said, "Nah, not no more."
It's fairly obvious that Kim and Cassie had the same abusive relationship years later, demonstrating a pattern of Diddy's abusive behavior that demonstrates Cassie wasn't his first victim. Did he attempt to justify his vicious attack on Cassie in the hotel as him going through a difficult time in his life? He did the same thing to Kim Porter years prior. And this treatment of Kim Porter is what caused I'll Be Sure to have a falling out with Diddy while Kim and Diddy were together. From what I could see, Shore didn't appear to have any issues with Diddy. However, he did have issues with Diddy after learning that Diddy was assaulting Kim Porter. According to Shore, Kim had confided in him that she dreaded Diddy and that she was in danger, which ultimately led to the day she passed away. Kim Porter passed away on November 15, 2018. After experiencing flu-like symptoms for a few days, her official cause of death was pneumonia. Diddy was devastated by her passing and appeared on social media and in the media, claiming that he still loved her because she was the mother of their children. Diddy appeared hurt, and everyone felt sorry for him. One guy didn't buy this at all and thought it was all fishy. Shore didn't buy Diddy lamenting Kim Porter's passing because he thought he was pretending to be depressed to hide the fact that he was supposedly the one who had her removed. Weeks after Kim Porter's death, I'll Be Sure came out and told the world that Kim had been taken out, claiming that Diddy had successfully silenced her. He even called for the authorities to open an investigation into Kim's death, but they ignored him when he did. Out of grief, Albie continued to call out Diddy for speaking out. He also claimed that Kim had shown him this book she was working on that would reveal Diddy for what he truly was, to exert pressure until he was genuinely unable to do so any longer. It didn't look for Albie Shore when he suddenly collapsed in a recording studio. He was put on a ventilator for 38 days and in a medically induced coma for 2 months. Fortunately for Albie, he recovered and survived this terrible incident. But that silence wouldn't last long because when the Diddy takedown started, Albie knew it was his time to shine. He started attacking Diddy and implying that his health scare wasn't natural but was caused by Diddy. At the time, people thought he was crazy because Diddy had only been sued by Cassie, and the public was still attempting to defend him. However, everything changed when Diddy was eventually arrested. Short took this opportunity to fully expose Diddy, posting on social media saying this statement for over a decade and a half. "I have been posting and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hopes to protect loved ones, avoid deaths and tragedies that could have all been avoided. Despite this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, and medically silenced to cover up these crimes you're all now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me. From exposing it only aimed to prevent me from further sharing publicly the facts and insights Kim Porter shared with me during our frequent and intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life. By sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly by ending my life, I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the residence of Miss Kimberly Porter. It has come to my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices, which contained her original book notes, Miss Porter's missing device, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contain the critical evidence that has been concealed. I am convinced that evidence cooperates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to also concealing the alleged murders of several prominent artists, a situation that has left many bewildered, yet those who are immersed in the culture and familiar with the intricacies of the entertainment industry may have a clearer understanding of the obvious. Kimberly was allegedly taken from us because she was set on a course to accomplish what Miss Cassie Vanto did by igniting the bonfire, which brings us here today. Now, after the Diddy arrest, people have been looking at what Albie Shore was saying differently now. It seems much more believable that Diddy took out Kim Porter recently. This is what Albie Shore confirmed during an interview. Albie Shore recently did an interview with Fox News where he confirmed he will be coming for Diddy in court. Albie not only stated that Diddy had pulled Kim out, but he also formally stated that Diddy was attempting to silence him by denying that his life-threatening health issue was natural.
The last time you were here, you could barely walk up the step to sit down here. Barely.
You were my first interview with Cristal, right?
Yes.
When I was released from the hospital, and it was just, what an amazing journey it's been. I figured, look, when you get lemons, make Arnold Palmer.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah.
60.
Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors, medically, like, what happened to you?
And
Because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, just mysteriously out of the blue, which we talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But, so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned, law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Second, really? What's wrong with you? No way. Just realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting.
Yeah.
I get calls, take it down, else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's be clear for everybody that doesn't know.
Who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah,
yes.
They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing, actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby, Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise. A lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate in so and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest speaking about another man.
You are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and what's most relevant. It's something I've been trying to say for many, many years. Unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways. People's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
You blaming Diddy for that?
I'm blaming this entire industry and the way it's gone.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. And again, there's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
So
the only
yes.
reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. You actually knew what they did to me. There was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that John Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive. So this is not about a scared thing. It's just time to reveal the truth.
I mean, as you heard for yourself, Albie is standing. 10 toes down, not only claiming he's coming after Diddy in court, but telling the world that Diddy tried to take him out. He once again claims that Diddy is who took out Kim Porter as well. Now, Albie isn't just talking to talk. He claims that he was subpoenaed to talk at the trial. He is confirming that he is glad to testify against Diddy. You can obviously tell this is the moment Albie was waiting for after years of trying to warn people about Diddy and being laughed at. Now the world has to apologize and give him his credit. Albie sure didn't back down when he found out Kim was silenced by Diddy, and it could have been the same fate he was facing. He was the only man brave enough to come out and stand up for her. Everyone got on Diddy's side while he stood up alone for what was right. I myself believe what Albie has been saying as what did he ever have to gain from making up a story about Diddy taking out Kim Porter? Kim Porter had a lot of dirt on Diddy that if she released it would have caused his downfall years ago. Who knows how many people Diddy hurt since he's silenced Kim Porter. Now, when you think about it, Cassie was lucky to have survived Diddy as she could have. Honestly, ended up like Kim Porter for speaking out, just like Alb. Sure, almost ended up Diddy. Isn't the only person who does evil in Hollywood, but he definitely is one of the worst in the public eye. There's definitely many monsters in Hollywood, but they're likely behind the scenes. Diddy was doing his evil right in the open, and no one stopped him. No one even tried except for Kim, Porter, and Albie. I'm curious to see how this situation would end up. What will Albie say in court about Diddy? What proof would he provide against him that would help bring him down? Hopefully Albie remains safe and doesn't disappear like the key witness that mysteriously went missing. If you want to know more about that, make sure you watch my last video where I covered that. Well, I'm going to end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.